So what to expect for this week crypto market outlook? Okay, so is the bottom in, or is this a sign of a relief rally for the month of April? Is the Strait of Hormuz starting to open back? Right, so we can see here, I think there is some negotiation coming in from Trump and of course the Iranian side, okay, to agree on a 2-week ceasefire. So I think this is nothing to shout about. Okay, so this is only a temporary ceasefire, which is only lasts for 2 weeks. So market now is really pricing in on the sentiment at the moment. Short-term bullish, but I think overall, again, is going to continue, okay, with the closure of this Straits of Hormuz. So yeah, we're going to see whether or not will they open, okay, temporary for those ships to, to go through, okay, in and out. Okay, so what happens is that Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto starts to rally. Because the S&P 500, the stocks are also up at the moment. Okay, so 72,000, I think, again, a lot of challenges ahead for BTC alone, a lot of resistance there. Okay, so Bitcoin pushed past about 72K for the first time. Okay, so I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. So it's mentioning 2 weeks here. So they are actually buying time here rather than ceasefire. Okay, so I think this war will continue to continue. Okay, so I don't think there's end as of now. This is just a temporary short term to buy time only. Okay, so you can see the crude oil price starting to pull back, to have a correction. Okay, and then of course we can see, okay, the Iranian Supreme National Security, okay, have also agreed to the ceasefire temporarily for 2 weeks. Okay, so if attacks against Iran are halted, our powerful armed forces will cease their defensive operations. So this is not a long-term solution here. The keyword here is what? 2 weeks. 2 weeks only. Okay, mentioning about safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz will be possible via coordination with Iran's armed force. There you go. So this will actually giving us some breathing space for only 2 weeks. So market price of oil starts to cool down, probably get cheaper oil temporarily. So we're going to see after that, right? So 2 weeks from now, which is end of April. So should we see the market continue to rally all the way by end of April? And then by end of April, we get the lower high, right? So that could be the expectation there for those cryptos, okay? All right, and then of course, this is a long tweet coming in from Trump, okay, mentioning about the ceasefire for 2 weeks, mentioning about peace in the Middle East, okay, a lot of things ongoing, okay, a lot of noise at the moment. Then of course, we have the analysts also mentioning there could be a near-term reversal, okay. So Bitcoin upward price move came just a day, okay, after M&N Trading Capital founder, okay, Michael Van de Poel, mentioning that the decision of the direction isn't that far away. So, well, because it jacked at 70K, okay, and it's having its higher lows. And then the recent higher low is 6.5. So, which means that the price is compressing and the market are unsure which direction it wants to go. Okay, so I think we've been consolidating for many weeks, stuck in the range of 65 to 68K, right? And then getting hammered again below 70K. So now we are slightly above 71. Again, slightly above 71. So that could be a sign where there could be a possibility, right, for price to actually continue to rally since the market is actually pricing in this current situation. So the fear and greed index, right, talking about it, we have reached what, 70? Okay, and signaling that investors are taking a cautious approach to the crypto market. So as the fear and greed index continue to increase, once it goes neutral, that's where I think most likely retail will slowly start to come in again, slowly start to take risks. Okay, adding more into leverage as well. Okay, that will add up for till the end of the month of April, if everything aligns at the moment. So all goes well for now, this week, next week, okay, until end of April. That's our target here for a relief rally or a lower high, which could also bring price probably about 80 to 85, right? So according to many experts, also mentioning like 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. Okay, and then we talk about the setup here. What to watch lately for the Bitcoin signal. So everything is pretty much quietly building while the price stays flat. Okay, so what to watch next? Okay, so important here, you can see, okay, I think there are a lot of silent builders at the moment. A lot of whales are accumulating behind the scene. Okay, but is this the bottom? Just think. Okay, so 𝗧𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀𝘀, another on-chain analyst, okay, has identified a divergence that separates what the pricing is doing from what the market's most conviction-driven participants are doing. Okay, so wallets that historically only receive Bitcoin, never send it, representing the deepest form of long-term holding conviction, is rising sharply. Now you can see here, Bitcoin that never send or probably just receive, right, probably is more towards a long-term horizon. Okay, long-term conviction. So these are the type of investors that probably just buy but never want to sell. Just continue to hodl. Okay, all right. So spot price meanwhile has not returned to its previous major high. So these two data points are moving in opposite directions. Okay, all right. So the signal is real, confirmation is not yet. Okay, so Bitcoin demand from accumulator addresses have already spiked. Okay, hit about 130K. Okay, of addresses. So accumulator addresses demand. So what we can see here, right? What the accumulator divergence means, and equally important, what it does not. So a sharp rise in demand from long-term wallets, while the price remains below its previous major high, is a constructive development in market structure, not a breakup signal. Okay, so between those two things is where most market participants make their most expensive mistake. Right. So again, these people are buying, but the bottom is not here yet. So they could be buying or they could be catching a falling knife as well along the way. All right. So what makes the current reading meaningful is that the direction of the demand, okay, makes it insufficient as a standalone signal, as the absence of price confirmation. Okay. So yeah, overall we can see setup like this. Okay, during the bear market, there are a lot of plays to create a lower highs, to catch traders. Okay, and of course, talk about investors as well. During bear market, there are a lot of short-term plays towards the upside. Okay, so investors tend to get impatient. They think that this is the bottom, so they tend to buy, tend to enter, or probably all in. But little do they know that is not the bottom. And then continues to go down again. So that could be another major factor as well. All this on-chain analysis is showing. Okay, so the keyword here is what? Signal is real, but confirmation is not. Okay, where is the confirmation? Where is the conviction that you can say that this is the bottom? Right, you can say that this is the 5-year cycle to prove that. So more on this later on, and then we move on next. Okay, so what happened to Drift protocol, the Solana Foundation, of course, the whole Solana ecosystem. Okay, so again, I think another thing to take note is your wallet, and of course, whatever DeFi work that you're doing on-chain, especially using a Web3 wallet, okay, especially trading on perps like Drift. See what has happened. A 285 million hack. Okay, this is like more than a social engineering hack, more than just trust. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful if you are dealing with this type of DeFi platform. If you're perp trading for Airdrop, you want to make sure your investment that you put in, that you're accountable to lose, rather than putting all in and gamble, or to rake in the airdrops. But at the end of the day, if the platform collapses or get hacked like this is the worst case scenario to happen. So recent 285 million hack on this Solana platform called Drift protocol. Okay, so what happened? In a new incident update on the 1st of April, right, result of 6 months of careful manipulation from North Korean backed investors. So all these people are coming from North Korea. Even the Bybit hack also was from North Korea as well, called 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. There are hacker group called 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀, right? And I think Bybit cannot do anything about it. Literally hacked, caught them red-handed, but I think the funds still not have been received or retrieved. Okay, so drift contributors were approached by a group of individuals. This was last year itself, right? So major conference, crypto conference, who presented as a quantitative trading firm. So this is the thing about events like Token 2049 or whatever side events that you go. There are a lot of platforms, companies, they will come and approach, or they will come and network with you to get to know you. This is a thing that you have to be very, very careful, because there could be out of, let's say, 100, maybe 80 or 90% are scams. Okay, I can tell you that most of the booth on the Token 2049 as well. And you can sense that this type of company is a fly-by-night type of company. They are there just to promote their product, creating awareness, and then that's it. No concrete white paper, nothing, just there to scam or to con people. So this is what's happening. All these events, right? They will go, they will network, right? They will build trust, okay? Right? So individuals from this group continue to deliberately seek out and engage specific drift contributors in person, right? In multiple conference, multiple countries over the following 6 months. So you can imagine the trust level, the follow-up, okay? It is so damn well professional that they did this. Technically fluent, had verifiable professional background, familiar how drift operated. Telegram group was established upon the first meeting. You see, the thing about Telegram is that you can able to delete messages from another person's end. So if you send me message, okay, you send me message, let's say hello. From my end, I can able to delete your message of hello, and I can pretend that you never sent me that message. So this is how it works, especially in Telegram. You can able to manipulate. Okay, even the free Telegram, you can open a free Telegram account, you can able to even delete. That's the thing about this move. Okay, but WhatsApp, you can't do that, right? And other platforms, you can't do that, only Telegram. But most of the crypto companies are using Telegram and Discord, only these two, as far as I know. So these interactions are typical of how trading firms interact and onboard retrieve. You see, the moment when they ask you to join Telegram, this is where the thing starts to come in. So whatever conversations that's happened, right, it can be deleted. So that's why we can see the investigation, right? So there's no trail, no backup copy of the conversation as well. See how smart these people are. Okay, they use Telegram, they communicate with them. So when they hit and run, the moment when they run, they immediately delete the whole thing, the whole chat from their end and from the third party end as well. So investigation has shown so far that the profiles used in this third party, right, had fully constructed identities, including employment history, public-facing credential, and professional networks. Okay, so this is a thing you have to be very, very careful. If you're attending an event, if you're building your crypto company, and if you want a joint venture, getting a partner, so you've got to be very, very careful of all this social engineering work. Very, very hard to even digest as well. Very, very dark, professionally done. Okay, it takes months in order to gain the trust. Look at that. Okay, so lesson to be learned here. And then moving on next with the on-chain analysis. So on-chain analysis, we can see here, current bear market status, what is really happening right now. You can see the setup for the current bear market. Okay, for the current bear market, what's happening now? Highest drawdown, 52%. Okay, length of correction, 186 days. That is the current situation right now that we are facing. So the average bear market is usually somewhere around 82% drawdown, and then it will last somewhere around 391 days. So it could be more than a year and a half. Okay, so the absolute most consistent thing about Bitcoin has been the halving cycle, almost as consistent as the people who say it's going to change or break at every high and low. So if we look here, people say this time is different, the 5-year cycle is here. Okay, the 4-year cycle is dead by Michael Saylor. Look at that. From time to time again, the more the narrative change, the more it stays the same. So people just don't get it. People just refuse to accept, because we are living in a simulation. right? According to 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 as well, right? People who can able to adapt the market, okay, able to tell you what is really happening rather than shilling you hopium, hope and cope, and then speculate, okay, banana zone like Raoul Paul, Tom B, Ethereum is going to 62,000 in the next coming months. This is screaming for exit liquidity. No accountability, no responsibility. So what I'm sharing right now, these are the people who are adapting to the current market cycle, right? So what's happening now? April 2026, it currently is at 52%. Look at all the previous historical cycle. Okay, so last 4 years, okay, well, 77%, 384 days. Okay, and then April 2018, 84%, 372. Okay, April 2014, 86%. So as the price maturing, as it goes higher and higher, I believe that the drawdown will get lesser and lesser. Okay, drawdown gets lesser, diminishing returns also the same, right? We should get diminishing returns rather than exponential returns. So I don't know, maybe we get another 10 or 20%, or maybe somewhere around the 70 or 60%. Okay, that could be a fair type of drawdown since we are already a maturing asset class. Okay, so I still see plenty of takes on Twitter, right, claiming that the cycle bottom is here. Again, defining the cycle and calling for low 25%, less than the cushious bear market in half the time. So yeah, again, you can see a lot on Twitter mentioning, oh, the bottom is here already. We won't retest the 60,000 level anymore. So this is a time to actually buy, right? But you not have any proper concrete data to actually back that. You just assume that already is a bottom because we have already, top up from the October 10, and it's been down only for the past, 5 to 6 months, all red candles, right? So they assume that this is already the bottom. And then we look here, where are we now? Halving cycle theory, sine waves. We are already in this, gray color ball here, which is, I think we are already in the middle. Already, this is the second drop. First drop was at October 10. And then the second drop was at February or March, right? And then we are waiting for this final drop, final capitulation. So that could be after June, right? After June or probably maybe Q3. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so different but not different. That's the key here. So the more they change, the more they stay the same, right? So hopefully you understand what is going on. And then coming in from the OG, another OG of the Bitcoin cycle, right? Billy Wu. What he's mentioning here, okay? Talking about the bear market situation, 3 things could happen at the end of the bear market. What is it? Number 1 is what? Price cleanly breaks the cost basis of recent investor circles. Okay. So we look at this chart. Okay, so these are all the cost basis, right? Okay, price cleanly breaks the cost basis, okay, of recent investors. So this is the one, and here, this was the last cycle. So we are barely getting the cost basis of recent investors at the moment. Until then, we are still waiting for the dip, right? And then secondly, ideal smoking of hopium gives way to rabbit clicking of the buy button chasing the price, right? This is what's happening now. Price goes up to 72K. Okay, these are the people now rabbit clicking of the buy button, chasing price. And third, this brings the cost basis, which is the red line. Okay, transition to green. So what's happening here? The price continue to go down. Okay, continue to go down, and then finally capitulated. Then this could be the bottom, and the red line changed to a green. Then continue to rally towards the upside. So yeah, according to Billy Wu, additional here, right? Even Colin Talks Crypto also mentioning about what definitely looks like a way to go. I really can't find many charts that convince me the bottom is in, despite what loud vocal 𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 said. There you go. And then Billy Wu added, because it's not a bottom yet, there's a chance of the bulls are right. But for these levels to be bottom, price needs to go sideways for many months to create a structural floor. So there's no rush because that floor hasn't been created yet. Again, bears are about patience. There you go. Again, I've been saying, this is not the bottom. The bottom only happens once you have this sideways consolidation ranging period for many months. Okay, it could take weeks, months, or could be a year or two, like chain link. Look at the accumulation range. The boring sideways is that is a level that you really want to accumulate. That is a level that you really want to spend time, dollar cost averaging, DCE. Not now. Why would you want to buy now in such a hurry that that people think that this time is different? Or fear of missing out. So these are the things that you have to consider, right? Okay, during the bear market. And then, okay, again, talking about more bear market theories. Okay, so the best way to manage the bear market, okay, if you are perma online, if you are frequently online, right, to separate your higher time frame buyers from tactical short-term opportunities. Why is it so important? So damn important. Okay, so in bear markets, the price grinds up much more than it grinds down. Okay, or leaks down. Okay, there are many rallies which are great for traders, but less great for long-term focused buyers, which is investors, people like me, okay, who only want to dollar cost average, but I do not want to trade. These are bear markets, okay, rallies are mostly for traders, open for traders, short-term, okay. So many investors get impatient and buy the rallies as they can't handle the anxiety not being in the market. There you go. Again, lack of patience. Then what Willie will say, bears are for patience. The bears are up for patience. But investors, okay, they can't get their hands off the buy button. Okay, getting impatient, they get their hands so itchy, they can't wait to click the buy button. So what happens? Right, some puke it later, and when they realize it wasn't the end of the bear market. Right, there you go, catching a falling knife. So again, I've been saying, you don't need to rush. First half, I've been mentioning, you want to stay defensive. De-risk whatever outs. Don't wait. Don't second guess. Don't have any reservation. I don't know why. I know why still people have reservation on their outs, despite telling them last Friday, last 2 weeks to sell your outs. Yet you still hold. I don't know why. Right? Again, time from time again, you see your outs starts to bleed even more. How significant if your outs can able to recover from the all-time high of this sentiment? So when I put my higher time frame hat, I still see bearish market structure. Right? So we are below the 20 EMA, right? The moving average, right? Which is acting as resistance, whereas previously it acted as support in the bull market. So 60 range, the 60K range will be a solid entry when you look ahead of a couple of years. But there are many reasons to remain cautious. History suggests we still have time to go, some time to go. You see the keyword here? Some time to go. That means there's still a long way there. Okay, even the CoinTalks Crypto also mentioned, still a long way to go. Still have more room to go. People don't understand. I don't know why. This is the bottom, right, by psychedelic. Okay, and then 𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗀, and then Arthur Hayes. Oh, this time is different. That's a problem with most people, especially the retail. First cycle, they want to believe what they want to hear. Right? They want a hope and hope. That is a problem. So looking at the short term, we have a window of a move up, as there seems to be some optimism in the air. Okay, optimism in the air. So Bitcoin alts have not made new lows, despite all the incessant run bad news headlines, which is enough for traders to look here. So again, bear market this round is mostly for traders market. It's not for investor. I've already mentioned many times. First half, we want to stay defensive, de-risk whatever that we can, maintain as much stables as possible. But of course, your holdings need to have at least some exposure of Bitcoin rather than selling the whole damn thing. Then moving to second half of this year, which is after June, that's where you really want to start to nibble, start to really, be a bit aggressive, but not fully all in. You nibble a bit. Again, maybe throw in maybe 5%, 10% of your stables to Bitcoin first. And then slowly move out, right? You want to accumulate Bitcoin first. So this is the game plan here for this cycle. Okay, right? So short-term rallies can be very short-term. Yeah, you don't have to play every move, but the upside is very capped. Okay, in the bear market, which means limited. Your upside is limited in the bear market. So you have to understand all this. Right? You have to understand all this theory rather than believing in hopium. Okay, right? Listening to all those influencers who have no credibility or responsibility for your own portfolio. So they can say whatever they want, but no accountability or action taken, right? If things goes wrong. Then moving on next with airdrop. So we can see we have coming in from Merkle. So if you've been doing this airdrop, okay, you might want to check. You can claim here, oldfriends.merkle.ai. So again, bear market, don't expect anything much. So Merkle is doing an airdrop for unfair risk NFT holders, hence or support NFT holders. So I was wondering what is the value of this NFT now for those people who are holding it until now. Okay. So I don't think they're going to get much here during the bear market. But this is what it is at the moment for the airdrop market. And then one football club. Okay, the airdrop TGE is already announced. So 25,000 people are eligible. Tiered distribution, claim open shortly after TGE. So you got three ways to claim this. And it's also a vesting period again. 3 months, okay, you claim 30%. 6 months, you claim 65. 9 months, you claim 100%. So you got to ask yourself, if you're going to claim 9 months for the 100%, what is the odds that this token will continue to appreciate? Chances probably it will go down 90%. Okay, majority of these tokens will go down 90%. So if I were you, probably I would take 3 months. Okay, I don't care, or whatever, 6 months, 9 months. The minimum option, because I want to reduce the risk, right? Going forward for airdrop farming. So all options give 10% on day one. The rest unlocks over time. There you go. You have 3 options. So if I were you, I'll probably take the lowest, the minimum. Okay, so you can speed up your unlock, predict 10 matches per week, which means you still have to pay, you still have to burn gas in order for you to unlock all this. So top scores each month share OFC prize pool. Okay, so this is definitely not going to move forward. Probably claim the airdrop and just move on. Okay, so that's my take here. Then another useless sale, easy skip. Align layer. I'm not sure how many of you guys have been doing align layer. I think this was like last 2 years. They've been also they're also mentioning about the TGE and of course the eligible. Until now, again, they're mentioning about eligible. Okay, check allocation. So not sure what they're trying to do here. And this is already their third sale of ICO, collecting public funds to raise funds for their token. So you can imagine what they're trying to do here. They suddenly got active and posted tokenomics with new airdrop checker. That will continue with this token sale in this bear market. So again, like I said, okay, all this kind of thing comes with risk. You do not want to be investing ICOs during the bear market, even before the bear market, right? Like probably Q4, when you reach the transition from bull to bear, especially Q4, like October. That's where you might want to pull your horses and say, I think I've done enough, and I'm going to probably convert my whatever drops to stables, rather than continue holding with all this nonsense, right? So this is a lesson that you can able to learn from. Been through it, been there, done that. So hopefully for the next following airdrop for the bull market, you are more wise up on how you can able to maximize your time and your opportunity in this airdrop field. Then moving on with the coin market cap. So you can see what's happening now, 2.45 trillion. Bitcoin is at somewhere around 1.4. ETH, 2.2. Okay, 2.2. And then, yeah, now 71.4. So it's slightly rejecting at the 72K, right? So there's a 72K is the resistance, major resistance there for now. It's been Wicks is trying to retest but fail. So we're going to see whether or not can it able to continue, or is this a bluff move. Solana still within 83, hyperliquid, well, 38 or 39, it went to 40, if so. Okay, we have a Zcash, Monet, Layer 0, ICP all starting to rally. Okay, so a lot to discuss today. Those alts are slowly starting to pop. So let's see later on. Now, moving on next with the technical side. So technical, we can see for the dominance. What's happening now? I think the dominance continue to rally. Okay, let's continue to push. This will be the re-entry sell, 59.74. And then we want to see the support at 57.16. When we look at the weekly time frame, we can see what's happening now. And we can see descending channel break, slowly starting to break above the middle band. So let's see whether can we be able to break 59.17. And then we look at daily, right? So what is daily doing? Okay, so daily break momentum. Okay, for the dominance on daily. So there could be a high chance that the dominance continue to rally. Right, uptrend, now getting rejected again now. Look at ETH against Bitcoin. Now starting to pull back. We look at the money time frame. Now the money time frame, that's where it needs to really continue to rally, break above the middle band, and then continuation with this level here, the resistance 0.0401. As of now, still below. So we're going to look at all this support zone at 0.02521. Look at weekly. Okay, momentum sell, go back to the entry sell. So obviously right now, this is a sell setup now coming in for ETH against Bitcoin. Price consolidating inside. Okay, the resistance level still getting rejected. You can see here, ETH against Bitcoin. Then on H4, what's happening? Momentum pullback. Okay, next level is here, 0.03095. Okay, for ETH against Bitcoin. So overall, we can see the setup is coming down. And if we look on with the dominance chart, okay, USDT dominance, we can see it is only happening to pull back. Okay, I already mentioned to you that last month reversal, right? Month of March. So this one will be a retest candle, or there can be a high chance of a pullback, probably to retest back here from golden pocket here, 6.32%. Then all the way down to this level at 0.5 at 6.34. Okay, so people are probably converting the stables to risk-on asset like stable altcoins and of course BTC as well. So pullback is much necessary before we see another leg up again for USD dominance. Okay, so yeah, April, I think leading up to April and May, these 2 months probably might see the dominance for USD to go down, then consolidating, and then continue back up again. So moving on to BTC, right, 71.1. So can it continue to break above the 72K? That's the most important thing. 1.8. Support zone 8.7, right? That's the critical level. Then it needs to continue again to breach right with your 72. Then your entry sell is here on the money at 79.4. We look at the weekly time frame, also you can see momentum, consolidation, price rejected at this sell zone again, 72.3. This is the level it finds hard to actually break. So now we test again. I think it will continue to go down. Then we got the middle band on the monthly weekly at 78.6. So 78.6, another level again to test. Continue to breach above 82. So many things to consider, you see. And it's getting weaker. And then we look at daily. What's happening? Daily yesterday closed below the top. So it's not a momentum buy. So it's closing inside. So closing inside, which means there could be a pullback. So where is this pullback going to give you? Probably here, 69.9. Or if you will take the Fibo from the daily top here, stick here, all the way this low. So golden pocket 69.7, and then 0.568.8. That could be the next pullback there for BTC before we see another trend again towards the upside. So that is the daily. Now H4, you can see already huge rejection. Went all the way to 72.8. Okay, 72.8, then what happened? Rejected. So the next level is 69.9 here. Okay, 69.9, then your middle band will be about here, 69.3. Slightly below 70K, let's see whether can it able to maintain or to create another higher low, then continue up. Okay, so range here, 69 or slightly below 70K to maintain a level of support for BTC. Moving on to ETH 2.2. Okay, so monthly is still bearish, right? So all these got to consider. So critical support, 1.7. Next level to watch is here, 2.5. And also aligning the sell zone on Monday, 2.5K. So what is the risk to reward here? If let's say you caught the dip here at 1.7. And if you were to buy, if you were to, let's say, re-enter back on 1.7, 1.7 all the way to 2.5. How many percent there? It's only 46%. So you're only gaining about half. Okay. And then your risk is here, right? 1.7 to 2.5. So what is the risk reward here? Your risk is higher than the reward, right? So the reward is so little just to sell back 2.5, which is the money sell zone. Okay, so these are the case during the bear market. Always remember the upside is limited, capped. You have to be very, very careful, especially buying during the bear market when we have not seen the floor yet formally structured. Okay, what you are seeing right now is still ongoing. Capitulation after capitulation, dips after dips. But like there's no concrete floor to actually back up the support. So on the weekly, monthly momentum sell back in the entry cells, still start at the sell zone again. How many rounds? 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5. 5 weeks we've been retesting on this sell zone. So having a hard time to break as well. So the middle band here, 2.5, right, is the next. Look at daily. Now daily, what happened is that Ethereum closed past the middle band, top BB, so it creates a momentum buy. So I think now it's much, okay, much better if the price were to come back here at 2.1, 2168, and then this level here, 2140 for Ethereum against USD. So overall, we can see the setup, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, so overall, we can see it is making sense for the price to give back first, maintain again another lower high, and then continue. Right, so that could be the case here. Now let's go on to other alts. Look at Zcash. So ZEC, Zcash. Okay, so for Zcash, we can see here, extreme sell pullback, lower high compared to previous high. So the next level we want to see is the entry sell at 366. And then your support, right? This is the level of support you need to maintain. So far, it breached down all the way back here, 217, and then now slowly coming back up again. Okay, but I think it's already over for Zcash. Once you see this thing continue to go up, and your top high, 342 is the next resistance. Then continuation at the top will be at 5.6. Okay, so short term bullish, but I think long term, for now, I think it's going to continue to go down again. This could be a lower high, then continuation with a lower low. So there's Zcash for you, and then we have a lot here, day zero, set our own. So a lot of things did fly. So layer zero. So it went all the way down to 31 cents, and now it's back $2. So 100% here, 5x. Wow, you have caught the dip here. This was on last October, November. Okay, currently up 5x. But overall, it's already down, right? All-time high is how much? 7.5. Now it's at what, $2? So it's at 72%. So overall, it's still downtrend. Look, all those wicks rejected here. Okay, it's 2.3. We look at the weekly time frame, and we can see what's happening now. Extreme sell again. So a lot of major levels here to watch at this level here for layer zero to continue higher. But on daily, we can see the setup is already starting to break up, descending, break. Now I need the pullback before heading higher again. Layer zero. So layer zero pullback, You want to see all these levels to retest. All these zones here, 1.9. Then this level here, 1.93. And then moving on. Okay, last one. Let's take all those old coins are probably dead by now. So let's look at Monet. Monet. 3 cents. So your all-time high is at what? How much? Okay. This is a chart. Wow. Okay, so Monet is now reclaiming its previous resistance now to the support. So it went to a low of 1.5 cents, and now it's about 3.5. So it's about 1.5. 1x. 1x as of now. The bottom was at February. Okay, February. So yeah, this is last year, the airdrop. I think they disappoint many users. Okay. Range break. So this is the final boss resistance already broke, but let's see for this week. Look at the daily time frame. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay. So for Monet, I think probably we should see blue sky very soon, but let's see. For weekly, we can take this high here. This high to this current lows. Next level will be 4 cents. From here, 3 cents to 4 cents. So yeah, that could be the next golden ratio. Then put it by 5.5 cents.